Hey everybody, it's RF Tech Guy here, and today we're going to be unboxing the Creality Indoor 3. This thing is a $140 3D printer, and it's $140 because it comes in a bunch of little pieces and you guys actually have to put this together. And the instructions are a little bit difficult to read. I was going to do a step-by-step process on building this thing, but I got a little frustrated, so now it's a hyperlapse building of the Creality Indoor 3. And before we get started, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. And I will be showing you more tricks and issues and things like that I've had with this thing. I've been holding on to this video way too long, but it's finally coming out. So I was a little skeptical when I bought this thing, but right away when I opened it up, you can see that the quality is really well. The build plate, I heard a lot of complaints about, so I ended up buying a glass build plate for it.
That's big.
And I ended up changing it out later.
Wheels. There's a bottom to it.
Okay.
Stairs. So all those are kind of like blind bags with just a lot of tiny pieces, and some filaments and a scraping tool.
There's a power supply.
A scraping tool.
And a bunch of little tiny... I'm going to remove this box. We're going to set this down here. Scraper. So when I ordered this thing, I ordered like 6 different filaments. 6 or 7 different filaments. I got really excited about it, so yeah, I had to order a lot of filament. I ordered mostly PLA, 1 roll of nylon, and 1 roll of TPU. And in order to print the TPU and the nylon, I had to download a different part, and I'll get to that in the next video on what I had to do. And I've already upgraded this thing. But yeah, the Creality Indoor 3 is definitely worth the money, the $240. You can upgrade it as much as you want, and I can show you guys where to get all the parts for it. So the printing area on the Creality Indoor 3 is 220 by 220 by 250 millimeters. I guess in the US measurements it would be 7 by 7 by 8 inches. And I found out that this is actually the perfect 3D printer for a desk, because I actually have a Creality CR10, which I had to put on my kitchen table because it is too big for any of the desks that I have in my house. I'm gonna have to get more space for a bigger desk to actually put that somewhere else, because I'm hearing about that one. I'll be leaving links for everything you see in this video down in the description below. So the next thing you're going to need to do is go to Creality.com and download their 3D slicer. Just make sure you click on the right, the Indoor 3, and after that you can go into Thingiverse and download parts. Make sure they're in STL format, and you can put them on your 3D slicer and set them up to print. Usually what I'll do is I'll go to Thingiverse first and check if the part is there, and if the part that I need is not there, then I will go and try to create my own part, or just take theirs and modify it. So we're going to skip this first print because this was a failed print. It wasn't the Creality Indoor's fault, it was my fault. This is where I realized that designing on SolidWorks just to create something and designing to actually print are two different things. So I put way too many details and made it way too small to print that Thompson gun. So probably redesign it a little bit bigger, and yeah, well, we'll get into that later. So here's an example of what to do to get your print started. And the Thompson gun that never came out, and I don't even think I recorded the failed project. This next example here of this Baby Yoda, this is an example of my impatience, because I didn't even level out the build plate. But this was printed with a color changing filament. This filament changes color with temperature, so if you make the filament warm, it actually turns pink. So when I finally had time to sit there and set this thing up properly, I was able to print a lot of things. I downloaded this part from Thingiverse and just adjusted it. I had to cut this piece off and adjust it to fit this light fixture because I believe this was originally a phone mount. So I took it into SolidWorks, cut this piece off, and redesigned it. Okay, so here's Baby Yoda. I created a support on SolidWorks for his hands. That way it doesn't come out all stringy. I can show you another version of it in a minute. So this Baby Yoda right here is 3D printed with glow-in-the-dark filament. I'm going to check this out real quick. Turn this off. And there it is. So it's rechargeable glow-in-the-dark filament, recharges with the light. So here's a few of the examples of the things that I printed on the Creality Endor 3. This is a prototype design, and I got some newer designs that I'll show you guys later. And these hooks that I printed are actually pretty strong. I'm actually working on a speed loader for Tipman paintball gun magazine, and I'm trying to make that 3D printable. You guys can see. Look forward to that in one of the future videos. Hopefully soon. I'm actually printing it at the moment, so I'll let you guys know how that goes. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell. And I'll see you guys next time.